Reparations. Now, that word may trigger some or read as controversial to some others. But frankly, to me, that's wild. Because reparations are as American as apple pie. Yeah. See, the United States has a long and consistent track record of paying out cash restitution for America's horrific historical wrongs. Let me start with the money that Uncle Sam paid out during the Civil War. See, in 1862, President Abraham Lincoln signed the District of Columbia Emancipation Act. Now, that essentially said, my bad for freeing your enslaved black folk, D.C. Here is $300 each for you and your pain and suffering. If you're wondering, the current day valuation of that payout is over $8,000 per enslaved black person. Now, I don't know about you, but I could certainly make a few home and business investments right now with 8 stacks. Now, what I really need you to retain about what I just said there is the enslaved Americans didn't get a red cent. See, it was the white owners of those enslaved black humans that were cashed out. Let's move on. Our Native American brothers and sisters have also rightfully received reparations in the form of land and billions of dollars in U.S. government programs and various benefits, all done in an effort to make them whole after American settlers stole their land and almost exterminated their entire existence. Now, many of us have long heard of the $1.5 billion that the U.S. government paid out to Japanese Americans who were held under deplorable and inhumane conditions in internment camps during World War II. And America was also part of the Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan made sure that Jewish survivors and descendants of the Holocaust got compensation for the unconscionable horror that they experienced. See, in 1947, our country wrote a check for $18 billion to help right those wrongs. If you're wondering how much that amounts to in 2023, let me help you out. It's around $234 billion. So when the suggestion is made that America paying reparations to Black Americans comes up and people get tight or they get quiet, or maybe they start talking about how that's just not fair because the people that committed the horrible sin of slavery, well, they're not here anymore. I want you to tell them to pause. See, the United States government clearly has no problem with the concept of paying for other people's crimes. You know, America will even pay for the perpetrators of the crime itself. Yes, I'm looking at you, Mr. Abe Lincoln. So listen, remind everyone that you know that reparations is not only the normal state of business in our dear nation, but reparations are actually required for our country to truly conduct itself according to its own code, one of truth, honor, and justice. Simply put, a nation's future depends on its ability to truthfully reconcile its past. And reconciliation to Black descendants of enslaved Africans brought to America demands reparations.